Bradley. Welcome to the NFL on EA Sports. Every wide receiver in the NFL wants to be a top target, and two players will be trying to be that today. It's the Eagles going up against the Saints. With that, let's welcome in our fine broadcast team. Here are Brandon Gaudin and Charles Davis.
From a city that's played host to 10 Super Bowls, here's a look inside the Mercedes-Benz Superdome in New Orleans. The setting in this dome just serves to amplify the excitement of the folks in New Orleans as their Saints burst from the tunnel a moment ago. They're set, and we're set as well as the Saints get ready to do battle with the Philadelphia Eagles. And we say hi again, one and all. Brandon Gaudin here as we count you down to kickoff, and I turn to my partner, that's Charles Davis. And Charles, I know even a former defensive back like you can admire some of the receivers in the game today, and Larry showed us a couple that are very likely to stand out in this one.
Yeah, and it's hard for me to admit that I actually admire receivers, but with their acrobatics, with their speed, with their moxie, and the way they go up and get the football, they can change the outcome of a game in an instant.
This will be taken in at the 1. And he'll take this across the 25, couple extra yards up to the 27-yard line. Drew Brees ready to bring out the New Orleans offense. And for Brees, his streak of 3 straight passing titles came to an end this season. He finished second, but still, he went over 70,000 passing yards for his career.
And I don't think he was unhappy about that streak coming to an end because that meant the running game had gotten back into vogue for him. And Mark Ingram, Alvin Kamara, they really had big years, allowed him to be way more comfortable throwing the football. He did have his 12th straight year over 4,000 yards, though, with 4,334. So all was not lost for Drew Brees.
He is a free agent. Saints could use the franchise tag on him, and he says he wants to be a Saint for the remainder of his career.
And if that organization is listening to that, make him a Saint for the rest of his career. It makes your team that much better.
And the big boys up front in the trenches, what do you think of the O-line, Charles?
I love them because this is a group that's so cohesive. They know what the man next to them is going to do at all times, and they operate as a terrific unit.
Now Brees throwing on second down. And the hit jarred it loose. It's incomplete. Here are the starters on defense for the Super Bowl champion Philadelphia Eagles.
How about a quick look back at 2017 and how they got to the Super Bowl? The defensive side contributed greatly. Fletcher Cox at defensive tackle, Malcolm Jenkins at safety, Brandon Graham defensive end. They were established guys, but they picked up Chris Long last year in free agency. How about Jalen Mills emerging at cornerback, traded for Ronald Darby, and Nigel Bradham stepped in when Jordan Hicks got hurt and really did a bang-up job in the middle.
Now Brees. He is going to find Hill here. And he's got the first before he's brought down at the 39-yard line. I think defensively you're okay with that. Here in the first quarter, he's going to get some catches, but they rallied to him quickly.
And that's what you count on, and I like what you just said. First quarter, can you do it all game long? They catch it, you tackle them, they go down on the spot. Because when you're able to do that and you don't give up big chunks of yardage after the catch, now you put the offense in a position where every series they have to work hard to pick up first downs, and you tend to stall them out when you do that.
Brees going to throw. And this one's incomplete. He was trying to get it that time to Ted Ginn. And now it's third down.
I know our vantage point might be a little bit better way up here, but that looked like an ill-advised throw to me. I didn't see anything open, and this play just didn't look right from the beginning.
It did not. I thought he might get outside and just chuck it away. Dangerous pass, incomplete. And he couldn't hang on to it through the contact. Incomplete.
This team is not going to make it easy for you. They're a physical group, and we just saw it there on that play. It came in, made the contact, just as he's trying to haul it in.
Here's Morstead now as he sends this one away. And a nice job here on special teams. This will be down inside the 10 at the 8-yard line. And not great starting field position here for the offense. Now a play fake here on first down. And he's going to go down. He backed up into the end zone, and this is going to wind up a safety. Well, we thought these two defenses, they might come to play. One has already come to play here, a safety for the opening points of the game.
Brandon, let's file this play away because if it turns out to be a tight game, who knows? This could wind up being the difference.
So free kick situation forthcoming from the 20 as they'll punt this one away. And this will be taken at the 13. CD, I want to get your thoughts on some potential free agents this offseason before we change the possession here. Now, caution, many of these guys could be re-signed, I know, but who are some of them? Kirk Cousins is one.
Yeah, we're talking about difference makers. Kirk Cousins at the quarterback position. He's going to be coveted around the league by quarterback-needy teams. Case Keenum had a big year. Could he move? But how about running backs? Le'Veon Bell, Dion Lewis, some pass catchers, Jimmy Graham, Jarvis Landry, Sammy Watkins. And about the guy who goes and gets quarterbacks, DeMarcus Lawrence had a monster year for Dallas last season.
Yeah, a lot of big names that could be out there as free agents. Just a yard on the first down carry, so it's 2nd and 9.
Nice job by that defensive front there to hold him to a short gain on first down. Well played, I must say.
Yeah, only getting 1 yard. There was no room to run. Breeze to throw on 2nd down. And incomplete there. A nice hit. Jars the ball free and brings up 3rd down.
Even the greats in this game, and he certainly qualifies as one of them, they're going to have trouble if they continue to throw into double coverage.
He better be careful. Throwing into too much double coverage might have a couple of them picked off. To throw, it's Breeze. And Ginn's got it. And able to pick up the first across midfield to the 47. Breeze to another long-time vet, Ginn, for the New Orleans first. And defensively, they were in zone coverage there. Do you have to be a little careful? You're losing, playing against a good quarterback like he is, to not play too much zone?
Yeah, you have to be careful about how much time you're giving up. I think it's a good point you just brought up. So maybe if you still want to play zone, you go to a zone blitz scheme. And you can drop anyone out of your defensive front, defensive end, defensive tackle. It doesn't matter. You just exchange someone to bring more pressure towards the quarterback and still try and cover downfield.
Ingram again, a first down carry. And he'll be taken down at the 34. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9.
Well, if the coaching staff's doing a good job upstairs, they'll file away what they just saw from the defense right there. They sold out to stop that running play. I'd say keep that in mind. They want to try that again, go play action, hit them over the top.
It's a 4-yard pickup there, and it leaves them with 3rd and 5.
Some of the most unselfish players on any football team, defensive tackles, because we ask them to just eat up blocks and allow other people to make tackles. But when he can make a play himself, as we just saw there, that's a big day.
The decision to tuck and run gets him 3, but that's not enough. Now it's 4th.
Well, partner, nothing comes open here, so he decides to escape out of there, and he doesn't pick up a first down, but he does gain additional yardage to set up a possible field goal attempt if they decide to go that route.
So it's our first offensive points of the game so far, and it gives us a very rare scoreline. We don't see this one often, 5-0.
Yeah, it's been sort of a weird one to this point, hasn't it? But hey, in this league, you take points any way you can get them.
That's fielded in the end zone. Eagles will take over here in just a second on offense. And Charles, as you look back to the Super Bowl title run that they just had, what were some of the moves that made that possible?
I'll keep it on the offensive side of the ball because I thought their front office did a fantastic job of having answers in case things happen. Carson Wentz goes out. Well, they had signed Nick Foles to back him up. That worked out pretty well. Getting Alshon Jeffrey as a weapon outside to help them in the passing game. Darren Sproles gets hurt at running back. Corey Clement was signed as an undrafted free agent. He filled in well, and they traded for G.O.A.T. And how about Jason Peters, losing the all-world left tackle? And Halapoulivaati Vaitai, who they drafted the year before, filled in quite capably. They had answers for everything they needed.
To the right side, caught by Salek. And a nice gain at 21 yards. That's a matchup maybe they go back to their outer third of the field as this game continues.
Yeah, I think back to my high school coach, John Ford. He used to say when we got big plays early in a game or good plays, he'd always say, foul it away, lad, foul it away, because he'd want to come back to it later in a key situation. They may come back to this one a little more often than that.
Didn't he say laddie or did he say lad?
Yeah, it just depended on what he was feeling at the moment.
Okay, I thought that was the guy you told me about. He used to say laddie a lot.
Laddie, when you heard laddie, he was usually in a pretty good mood. Lad, sometimes the coverage is so good, no matter what you're doing on offense, you just can't shake anyone free. They try their best to find someone open, but they took away every passing alley, every angle, and shut the play down.
And he's going to take this one down inside the 45. Second down, a little more productive than first. 7 yards on the gain. It gets him to 3rd and 3 now.
Well, there's an example of patience being rewarded. Ran the ball on first down and got stuffed. Most people would scream, throw the ball here. In this situation, they stayed with their roots, stayed with running the football, and they got rewarded.
And he's got the first as they'll bring him down at the 28-yard line. They give him 17 yards that time as that'll move the chains.
Well, we're used to seeing the guy that you consider the #1 receiver double covered, but how about this guy? He's double covered and finds a way to make the play for a first down.
That's how you increase your Madden rating, right?
No doubt about that at all. And you know something? I think we'll hear about that from him soon.
9 yards is the pickup there, and they'll have a 2nd and 1. If these kinds of lanes are available, you have to feel like he's going to have a pretty big game on the ground.
Yeah, you can tell early on he's got a little burst in his step, and that's a big pickup right there on first down.
And he'll get him inside the 15 down to the 14-yard line. It's a gain of 4 there, and it gives him a new set of downs.
Now, that's the way to do it. Hand it to someone with vision and good footwork, and add in a little bit of power, and you find a way to pick up first downs.
This is Ajayi. Runs over it. And he'll be taken down at the 2-yard line. It's a nice pickup of 12 yards, and it gives him a 1st and goal. Getting the sense, Charles, they're going to put a big emphasis this afternoon on the run game.
And why not? What we're seeing so far, working pretty well from them. And here's the best part. We always talk about the best performers do their job when the lights come on. I think he likes natural light best.
And this is not going to do it as he's stopped at the 2-yard line. No gain there, and it's going to set up 2nd and goal. So stuffed from the 2, now what?
You know me pretty well. What do you think I want here?
Play action?
Definitely. Let him get outside and create. And if he has to run it, he has a little bit more space.
They'll go to Blunt, try and pound it in. And he's in. Touchdown, Eagles. LeGarrette Blunt taking it in from 2 yards out. And the Eagles are able to cash it in for 6. And this one through the uprights and good. Elliott now to kick this one away. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And all that work, but he stopped where he ultimately would have been, and he's simply taken a knee, and that's the 25-yard line. New Orleans offense working its way back out there. As we look at them ahead to 2018, as that wound to the end of 2017 continues to heal, Charles, they're going to have Kamara, Ingram, Thomas. If they have Breeze back at quarterback, this should be an excellent squad again.
It certainly should, and frankly, if the offensive line comes back healthy and intact, that's another big win for them, especially with their 2 tackles, Teron Armstead at left tackle, Ryan Ramczyk, who was a rookie last season at right tackle. They are loaded going forward. If they could get a real playmaker at tight end, that might be the last piece. And if that happens, I'd hate to be a defensive coordinator trying to game plan for them.
Give him 2 yards on that play, and they're going to have a 3rd down.
Was that a receiver? Yeah, actually it was. It was a running back who was a receiver on the play. I think he's been spending time in the receiver drills getting his feet down.
Well, those guys out of the backfield, they got to be good, agile with their feet. He showed the agility there with a toe tap.
No doubt about it. It's like he'd run to ballet school. Got the toes down and stayed in bounds.
A gain of 19 and picking up the 1st.
We just saw a nice example of why teams often bring in baseball guys to teach quarterbacks how to slide in key situations. You want to protect your franchise guy. Make sure he doesn't get hurt. He did exactly that on that play. A perfect slide to avoid the big hit and pick up a 1st down. The best defensive linemen They play with great leverage so they can get low and not get bowled over by offensive linemen. They have excellent hands. They can throw people off on a play. We just saw a great example of a really good run stop by a guy playing the defensive tackle position.
The defense loves to hang their hat on that, don't they? You get a guy that catches the ball, but you stop him for no gain.
Without a doubt, because they're also used to trying to catch people after the catch, and they miss. And that turns into what? A huge play. We've seen it so many times. In this case, though, catch was made, put down right on the spot.
The NFL on EA Sports is presented by Snickers. You're not you when you're hungry. Snickers satisfies.
With Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. It's Saints football to begin quarter number 2. They're staring up at a 3rd and 9 to start it out. Here's Breeze to throw. Over the middle, it's Thomas. Breeze on the hook up to Thomas for the New Orleans first.
One thing I can say pretty safely, that route is not called if you don't have a guy who can throw the ball and put some mustard on it. Because if you're going to lollipop it in the middle of the field, bad things usually happen. It takes a strong-arm guy who can rifle it in there, and they were able to successfully complete that one.
And it pops free. The collision there jarred the ball loose and brings up 2nd down. So he can't hang on, and as I watch that unfold, I remembered an expression that I've heard, maybe from you, I don't know, but you're going to get hit anyways, might as well hold on to the ball.
Well, you know a coach said that, right?
Yeah.
Not an actual player. No chance at all. Way easier said than done.
17 yards on the pickup there, and the drive will continue.
Tremendous blocking by the interior of the offensive line. They didn't just gash him there. They blasted a gaping hole for him to gallop through. I think if he comes back to the huddle, he better be giving them a whole lot of credit and thanking them for that much space to rumble.
And on this one, he'll get to the 15, right at the 15-yard line. It'll be a pickup of 10 yards, and that'll make it 2nd and a foot or so.
Not an ideal spot to be on 1st down, but I love that the play caller did not immediately abandon the running game and say, okay, we got to throw in order to pick it up. Stayed with the run, was rewarded with a big-time pickup. Now they're in 2nd and manageable. I hope we give enough respect to the big guys up front because they have been getting it done on this drive. The holes have been large, and they've been barreling through them, picking up 1st downs.
He's going to flip that out to the flat. It's complete. And now they're inside the 10 as he's brought down at the 9. It'll be a pickup of just 2, and it'll be a 2nd down. And at his size, he's a smaller back. You can get him the football. He can kind of get lost, make someone miss. It's good for him.
Yeah, it's great for him. I like what you said there. Sometimes he gets lost in the traffic a little bit, but get him out in the open field into some space. That plays to his strengths the best and keeps him out of it where all the big boys are, you know, make someone miss in the open field.
Throwing now is Breeze. And he's got it. Touchdown, Saints. Michael Thomas there to make the grab. And the Saints are able to cash in for 6. Coming into the year, Breeze, 465 touchdown passes. Add another one to the total.
You know, it's funny. I just talked with his college head coach, and he told me that when Drew was a sophomore at Purdue, they weren't sure he was truly the starter, even though he started the opening game, and he made a play early in that one where the coach got on the headset and told the rest of the staff, well, fellas, we found our quarterback. Now we got to make sure we find the rest of our team.
Breeze hasn't looked back since. And he'll elect not to return this one, so they'll bring it out to the 25 on the touchback. I want to give a hat tip real quick, Charles, to J.J. Watt before the possession switches here. Walter Payton, NFL Man of the Year, and they totaled up how much he helped raise for hurricane relief, $37 million.
Incredible. Hurricane Harvey, which really hit the Houston area in a big way, and his original goal was $200,000. So congratulations to J.J. Watt and all the people who participated. And Greg Olsen of the Panthers, Benjamin Watson of the Ravens, both tight ends, also nominated and finalists for the most prestigious award as determined by the NFL, the Walter Payton Man of the Year Award.
And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. And a nice carry there of 15 yards.
Boy, he does it at a high level, doesn't he? Because when I watch him, I think of his vision. Straight ahead, peripheral. Also has that sense of where holes are going to be before they actually open. I think that helps set him apart from many of the other backs in the league.
And he'll lose yardage here, back at the 41. It's a loss of a yard there, and now 2nd down.
Every year I go to the combine and marvel at the speeds that linebackers are running nowadays. They run like DBs. And let's face it, they know how to finish plays too. Eyes up, head up, run right through them.
Foles. Jeffrey reels it in over the middle. And he'll be brought down right at the 45-yard line. 4 yards on the completion, and it sets up a third down. And that's one of his advantages of a passer, is it not? With his height, setting back there in the pocket, firing it over the middle, he can really see everything clearly.
It is, and I know that other quarterbacks get it done different ways, all right? You don't have to be his height to make a great play. But what he does is he takes away having to make those slide steps in the pocket to find angles to throw the ball through. He just throws right over the top of it because he can see everything, and sometimes that saves time and gets the ball to a receiver quicker.
They go play action here on first down. His throw caught right around the 6. And he'll be out of bounds all the way down at the 5-yard line. Another nice gain, 16 yards there, and a first down again. Great mix of play calling so far. 3 runs, 3 passes. All 3 passes have been completions. First and goal.
I think on defense now.
And he's in for an Eagles touchdown. G.O.A.T, a 5-yard touchdown run. And the Eagles are able to cash it in for 6. And there you go. Nothing really too complex. Block, keep to your assignments, let them run it in. They did it.
Fundamental football. Good blocking beats good tackling on that play. End result, touchdown.
This is fielded at the goal line. So the football switching hands here in just a second. And, you know, Tom Brady, just to go off on a tangent for a second, may have lost the Super Bowl, but 3rd MVP this past season, and what he did at age 40, really something, right, Charles?
Absolutely phenomenal. Ended up beating out Todd Gurley, the running back for the Los Angeles Rams. But he would have traded it for a Super Bowl win, don't you think? How about this? The last 9 NFL MVPs to play in the Super Bowl that same season, 0-9.
Yeah.
We go all the way back to Kurt Warner in, what, 1999, where he won the double?
We were going over that stat earlier. That is hard to believe.
But he would have been the MVP had the Patriots pulled that one out.
Yeah, he still has 5 rings, though. 5 Super Bowl titles for Brady.
If they're going to get a first down out of this, they're going to have to earn it because there's been tough going in the interior there. And here we are on 3rd and 1. Be prepared. Brace yourself. There'll be some contact going on.
It's a 10-yard pickup, and it moves the chains.
I like the look that they just showed there. When you come out in a passing formation, spread things out a little bit, makes it really hard to cover the middle of the field, doesn't it? Because you got to go out to the perimeter and cover those guys.
Yep, exactly. Got some good block pressure, and he's going to be taken down. They sack him back right around the 44. Fletcher Cox with a great push up front. He picks up the sack and a loss of 8.
Now, that was just absolute perfect man coverage. Nowhere for them to go with the football. Led to a sack. That's really difficult to do in today's NFL with all these gazelles running around that you're trying to cover in the secondary.
Holding offense.
Umpire threw the flag, usually always indicates holding, and that's what we've got.
And you know, depending on their positioning, where you are on the field, the umpires get different responsibilities, but always, always making sure no one's holding.
Breeze now. Looking for Ginn, and it's intercepted. Picked off by a former first-round pick, Patrick Robinson. And he'll get this back to the 32-yard line. Before the offense changes hands here, let's look back at the Super Bowl February 5th. What a game. I know you were there calling it offensively, though. Impressive on both sides.
It certainly was, and let's face it, if you're in Minnesota, it's cold outside, but you talk about the offenses, they heated up in a big way. And how about Nick Foles? The backup quarterback turned MVP, 373 yards, 3 touchdowns, and, of course, the big one receiving on the Philly special.
Quite a story. As you and I were talking about off air, it was just a fluid game, not a lot of penalties, just really clean play.
Exactly the type of game the NFL needed for the audiences at home watching the game and, of course, people in attendance. A really well-played game.
And he'll be out of bounds just inside the 25-yard line. Pretty good running there, 9 yards. Sets up a 3rd and 1. 2 minutes remain here in the first half. We're back to New Orleans after this. We remind you that coming up at halftime, we'll pay a visit to Larry Ridley in Orlando with our EA Sports halftime report. And on third down, a nickel formation here defensively. Here's Foles. Under pressure, and he'll go down. Sacked back at the 31. Cameron Jordan in there to drop him for a 6-yard loss, and that'll lead to a 4th down.
You and I both know we're into a whole new realm of football because we're not...
Oh, they get to the football. It's blocked. It's picked up, and I think he's going to go. They're not going to get him. The 30. 10, 5, and he'll score. Touchdown, New Orleans. Lutz to try to add the PAT. And the lead is up to 5. Morstead out now following the touchdown to kick. That'll be taken in the end zone. And he'll elect not to return this one, so they'll bring it out to the 25 on the touchback. Before the possession switches here, I had written down that I wanted to talk about some of the awards this past season in the NFL. We know Brady was the MVP, but Todd Gurley, Offensive Player of the Year.
How about that for a bounce back? Many were questioning whether he'd had a sophomore slump the season before. Didn't even get to 1,000 yards. Was a dominant force in 2017. How about his teammate Aaron Donald on the defensive side? He took home Defensive Player of the Year award.
Yeah, very impressive. They had both sides of the ball. Sean McVay deserving, I think you would agree, of Coach of the Year.
Yeah, definitely.
And this is caught inside the 5. The Eagles going to take the first of their timeouts as they get the stoppage with just under 50 seconds remaining in half number 1. And the D looking like they may blitz. They'll try to run with a J. And this one will wind up with him losing yardage back to the 4-yard line. Now before this second down play, we'll get whistles and a timeout, as the clock will stop with 45 seconds to go in the first half. Now Foles. And that's going to be caught for an Eagles touchdown. Torrey Smith from 4 yards out. And the Eagles are able to cash it in for 6.
And while that touchdown does not give them an insurmountable lead, it's still a lead, and that always feels good to a team.
They'd love to take that into the lockers, but a little time left on that clock, so some work to do.
I like that. I like how you're guarding against a letdown there.
Are you looking forward?
Coaching them up from right up here in the booth.
And the decision to bring it out, a good one, as he's up a yard or 2 shy of the 30. Now the Saints offense, they get ready to go back to work here. And what do you think goes on here in this situation? If you got the football, you're trailing, you're back in your own territory with just a little time. Do you try something?
You're thinking about jump-starting your team, right? You just mentioned it. They're down. They're trying to get back into the game. But you got to figure, if something goes wrong, you may have put yourself in a spot where you may not be able to come back in the second half. Managing risk, this is a big decision here.
He's got his man. It's Brandon Coleman. A good pickup there, 26 yards. So after that big play, let's see if they can catch their defense maybe on their heels. Throwing on first down is Breeze. And he'll toss this one incomplete. Seeing no options, he throws it away.
I hope I don't sound too rah-rah on that one, but that's the exact right throw. Either your receiver gets it or no one gets it. Give him a lot of credit for being really precise with it.
Got rid of it. No one got it. Looking left side, and he's got a man. It's Ingram. And he'll be brought down at the 27-yard line. It'll be a 2-yard gain, and that'll bring up a third down. Now, Breeze again. Flush to his right. And that is incomplete. 2 seconds left on the clock. So with 2 ticks left here in the half, on is the field goal unit. He hit his first one, this from 44 yards out now. And Lutz's kick is good. So we've reached halftime in a wild first half. We'll take a minute to catch our breath as we send you over to our headquarters in Orlando, where we check in with Larry Ridley for our EA Sports Halftime Report.
Thanks, Brandon. Thanks, Charles. And welcome to our EA Halftime Report. I'm Larry Ridley. The Saints are happy to be in front right now and just want to play 2 more solid quarters. The Eagles didn't play their best, and they'll need to be at their best now to come back. All right, let's get straight to it. Here's some highlights from the first half. 2nd and 2 coming up. Blunt's got it on the run, and he capped off the long drive with a touchdown. That takes the lead up to 2. Saints have it early in the 2nd. They'll look to the end zone here, and this play will go for 6. That pushes the lead to 5. 3rd and 7. The catch in traffic made by Torrey Smith, and he'll be tackled at the 21-yard line. Later on the drive, Ajayi is going to dart up the middle, and he caps off the 7-play drive with a score. The Eagles up now by 2. Now to late in the 2nd. Breeze is under fire and will throw the pick. Robinson's happy to come away with the pick, ending the drive. Staying late in the half. Foles gonna find his mark, and he won't be brought down until he makes it to the 3-yard line. Staying late in the 2nd. They'll look to the end zone here, and this 4-play drive goes for a touchdown. That takes the lead up to 2. Still a little time left on the clock. Breeze on point with the throw, and he ends up at the 29-yard line before he stopped on the play. We're set up for a great second half, so let's get you out to it. Here's Brandon Gott.
Both teams appear ready for the fight ahead, and we resume action here in quarter number 3. That'll be taken in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Out come the Eagles now as they'll go on offense first here in the 3rd quarter. They're close game, but they're going to need to do a little bit better probably here in half 2, no?
I would agree with that totally. I would guess it in the locker room. They talked about cleaning up some of the errors, but overall, I think they wanted to be positive with them. Guys, we're right there. Just not playing as well as we need to. Let's pick it up, and we still have a chance to win this game.
Yeah, they do. We'll see if they can pick it up. They stay on the ground. Again, it's Ajayi. And down he goes, but he takes it up to the 40. A nice pickup there of 11 yards, and it'll move the sticks.
The more football I watch, the more I want to check and see if teams are going to panic when they're down on the scoreboard. And this team has shown no signs of doing that. A lot of the time, they come out after the half. Things haven't worked so well in the first go-around. They want to throw the football like crazy. But the way to open up throwing the ball is to run it. And they've run it well here to start the second half.
Well, that play was doomed right from the start.
They just about ran into every defender on that one, didn't he? It felt like everyone got a piece of that tackle.
Back to throw. The connection here with Nelson Aguilar. And all the way down to the 22-yard line. A big play there for Philly. And even 40 yards.
There will always be a place for methodically marching the ball downfield. But when you can pick it up in big chunks and strike like that and have explosive plays, that's often the difference in winning and losing. Those types of plays that can knock a defense off balance, that'll drive a team towards a victory.
And able to get him down, but he does reach the 5. 17 more yards on that one as they keep the drive rolling. Whatever the discussions were at halftime to try to slow down this offense, it has not worked to this point.
Yeah, I have a vision right now of everything that was discussed at the half just being torn in shreds or being...
And he is into the end zone. Touchdown, Philadelphia. Ajayi. He scored on the ground and through the air. And the Eagles are able to cash it in for 6. Didn't have anything downfield, swung it out to the flat. He did the rest.
Such a staple of so many offenses we see.
Ajayi hit. He lost the football. And this is picked up by the Saints.
That two-point attempt failed due to the fumble, but people can't see this, but you got a ball in your hands now, and you got the thing locked in pretty well. You got it covered up.
I love having a football in the booth. I always hang on to it. Makes me feel like I actually played back in my day.
Well, you probably could have. If you had run that play, you would not have fumbled. I can tell you that.
Maybe. Now the attention turns to the Saints offense getting ready for their first possession of the second half. They're down in this game. A chance for the offense, though, to put something on the board, get some momentum here in half two.
Try and get things kick-started for them. And you know at the half, they discussed how they were going to get that done. This is where scripting comes into play a lot of the time.
How many plays do you script coming out of the second?
Most of the time in the first half, you're scripting 12 to 16. I think in the second half, you're really scripting more like 8 to 10. Kind of a starter or an opener, whatever terminology they use. Just something to get you off to a quick start.
A good pickup there. 8 yards on the first down completion.
That was a nicely run slant route, and what the receiver's trying to do is make the defender think he's going upfield for a deeper route, and then breaks it off, usually after about 3 to 4 steps, and cuts towards the middle of the field. And now what he's trying to do is use his body to keep the defender away from the football and give the quarterback a really nice target. I haven't met a defensive coordinator yet that thinks 2nd and 2 is a fun situation to try and defend. The playbook is wide open for an offense, partner.
Nice job holding to 1 after that 8-yard pickup on first down. They give him 13 yards there on the play and a fresh set of downs.
Boy, where would these guys be without his performance on the ground? That puts him over 100 yards now for the afternoon, and I tell you, he seems to be getting stronger as the day goes along.
Not much there. Maybe a couple as he's taken down at the 40.
Well, he's looking for some running room, and there wasn't a whole lot of it there on that play. I think he was lucky to get a couple yards out of it. Because those defenders, they were rallying to the football pretty quickly.
Now Breeze. And he fires one incomplete. Brandon Coleman was the intended target. And it's 3rd down.
Had the right idea there, trying to throw it to the sideline, but he led him just a little bit too much, trying to get it out to his receiver. Ends up falling to the ground, incomplete.
He's going to leave this for his running back. It's complete. And he lost the football. And it's picked up by the Eagles.
The psychology of the game never ceases to amaze me, because you would think there would never be a fumble from what we hear from coaches all the time, right?
And how much they practice not fumbling.
Practice it, preach it, talk about it all the time. You would think no one would ever turn it over. Yet they are humans out there running around, and we just saw another one.
Opportunistic by the defense. They call it a gain of 19, and it moves the chains.
Well, that certainly looked like the Torrey Smith we knew in Baltimore, a guy who can just run past defenses, and what do they say? Take the top right off of him.
Game-changing speed, and the days in Baltimore good, days in San Fran not so great, but now hoping to get back to his former self.
I would say they have an extremely motivated wide receiver in Torrey Smith.
That goes for a gain of 31. Well, we haven't been shortchanged on offense. Another fun play to watch there on the deep pass.
This game has the feel of, a turkey bowl, a Thanksgiving day. You know, when we get together this year, when the Davises and the Gordons get together, that's what our playbook's going to look like. Like they're drawing them up in the dirt, and so far it's working for both of them.
Defense in a good spot. Let's see how the offense responds with a 2nd and 13 now. They run again with a jive. And despite the fancy footwork we saw, they'll get to him just inside the 15. Give him 2 yards that time, and it's going to leave him with a 3rd and 11 situation.
Well, that call makes sense because they've been throwing it well on this drive, and once again they show passing formation, showing the shotgun. Then they ran out of it. That's a nice play by them defensively, though, to hold it to a short game.
Ertz has it left side. They do get 9, but it leads to 4th down.
A short game that doesn't get them the first down brings up a 4th down situation.
Really nice job defensively. They knew where the sticks were. They got the stop before it. And Elliott puts this one through. And that'll push the lead up to 8. So he missed a field goal earlier, but he says not this time, and he's able to knock it through to give his guys 3.
And that's all you want as a kicker, a chance to redeem yourself. You got to have a short memory if you're going to survive at this level, and he's able to get back on track.
Now the Saints, they trot their offense out here. And last time the turnover on the fumble, and they were in enemy territory, so that had to be very frustrating. Down on the scoreboard here, can't do it again.
You nailed every part of what was frustrating. Down on the scoreboard, had a drive going, had pushed it past the 50-yard line, so they felt they were in striking distance, and to come away with nothing, not a good feeling at all, to put it mildly. Now they can't afford to do that again.
Yeah, now can they get that bad taste out of their mouth here? And he'll get this up to the 34-yard line. They pick up 12 on the play there, and they move the chains.
An ex-teammate used to tell me all the time, I hate experienced quarterbacks because no matter what, you really can't hide what you're doing. And I think that right there, he knew right away where the blitz was coming from, where his primary guy was going to be, and he ended up going to a secondary target for a nice game.
I was just going to ask you, that wasn't the primary target, and he's so good at that, isn't he?
I think he knew right away that he wasn't going to get to his primary guy. I think he read that as soon as he got to the line of scrimmage, knew where the pressure was going to come from, and said, I know how to beat that, and that's what he did.
There's Breeze. He throws and he hits the slant route to Thomas. And they'll be inside the 35 now at the 34-yard line. A good pickup there. 8 yards on the first down completion. Now Ingram, he's been busy today. And he'll work it inside the 30 to the 29-yard line. They're just 4 yards on the pickup, but that's good enough to extend the drive.
2nd and 2 is prime time for a little bit of a gamble, isn't it? Open up the playbook, go play action, toss that bad boy deep. But in this situation, go ahead and give it to your back. Let him pick up a first down, keep the sticks moving.
And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. On 2nd down, here's Breeze. The throw to the left side, caught by Coleman. Now the play goes for 19 yards, gives them a new set of downs. And the defense with their backs against the wall a little bit here as the offense is in the red zone. Into the red zone, it's Breeze. This one complete to Coleman. And he's able to work it here to the 8-yard line. A gain of 6 there on first. And the offense moving quickly to the line. On 2nd down, Ingram. And he'll be brought down here at the 3-yard line. A 5-yard gain, and now they're set up 1st and goal.
Here we go. Ready. Check.
To throw is Breeze. Got a man open. It's Thomas. It's a touchdown for New Orleans. Michael Thomas, his 2nd touchdown of the afternoon. And the Saints move back within a couple of the lead. Breeze now to throw. Escaping the pressure right. And his throw's going to be incomplete.
They made the decision to go for 2. They didn't get it. They remained down by 2 points. Should they have kicked it there?
A 3rd quarter, I'm okay with it. Maybe 1st or 2nd, you don't. I don't know. What do you think?
Yeah, again, I keep coming back to, I don't like to chase a lot of points.
Yeah.
But I also don't know what kicking an extra point being down 1 does for me.
Here's a handoff to Ajayi to begin the drive. Ajayi hit. He lost the football.
Wow, that ball gets knocked free, but a teammate comes along and scoops it up. It's almost like baseball. Guys at bat, people are on base in scoring position. One guy doesn't get him home. The next guy comes through and picks him up.
And avoids the turnover. And as they come to the line, they will not be able to get off another play as time has run out on this 3rd quarter. We'll return with more after this. This is the NFL, and it's on EA Sports. Back now here live in New Orleans. It's been a good one so far, just a 2-point game here. And on the outside, they're playing press coverage. Here's Ajayi. And give him about 5 as he gets this up to the 48-yard line.
Well, partner, Marvin, our #1 stats guy, just handed me a little card that says He has 97 yards on the ground today. You think he's going to get the ball again?
I think so. 3 away from that century mark. Got to have it.
Yeah, and I think what they're going to call is one of his favorite runs, whatever he feels comfortable with, and what the offensive line has executed well today to try and get him over 100 yards.
So a jump there defensively.
And it's a killer. Watch the football. Don't move across the line of scrimmage until the ball moves.
Off the play fake, he'll look to throw. And his throw's going to be incomplete. He was trying to get it to Zach Ertz that time. And it's second down.
Let's face it, perfection is something we all chase, whether it's playing this game or whatever we do. Hard to attain, but that's what they were searching for as that pass goes incomplete.
And an alley to run. And he gets this inside the 35-yard line. And a nice carry there of 15 yards.
Do my eyes deceive me, or is he getting stronger as this game moves along?
Burst seems just as good here in the fourth as it was way back in the first, doesn't it?
I do believe someone put a lot of time in the offseason and continues to condition during the season in order to continue to carry the ball at this rate.
And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. Run blitz there defensively, something we might see more of here in the fourth quarter.
I think we'll see a lot of it, and the difference between that and a pass blitz, you're trying to get to the quarterback. You're trying to scheme someone open who will get to the QB and make sure he gets on the ground. In a run blitz, you're actually trying to cover up gaps, trying to cover up holes so they can't run the football.
12 yards there as they move the chains. And with that last play, he's now up over that 300-yard mark.
And in today's NFL, it almost feels routine. And I hate that when you talk about a 300-yard passing game. To me, 300 yards still signifies excellence, and he's achieved that in this performance.
Give him a couple on the carry there, 2nd and 8. And in this situation with the lead fourth quarter, they're liking keeping the ball on the ground, I'm sure.
That's just smart football, but you know the defense has to know it as well. They've got to stop them here. So now we're going to see that loading the box in a big way. 6, 7, 8, 9, whatever it's going to take.
And he'll take it into the end zone for an Eagles touchdown. G.O.A.T scampering home from 19 yards out. And the Eagles add on to their lead. He's got the hat trick, 3 touchdowns now.
Did you throw yours? Did you throw yours out
I didn't have mine. You've got yours. You've got one of those Abe Lincoln hats.
Yeah, and that stovepipe is going right out there for a nose for the end zone. 3rd time today. I think he deserves a tip of the cap.
This will be taken in at the 1. And a good effort on the return there. Gets him across the 30 to the 33-yard line. The Saints offense now, they get ready to head back onto the field. Now, we have seen a lot on the scoreboard here in this quarter. So, sometimes you talk to me about tendency breakers on offense. These defenses struggling. Are there tendency breakers on defense?
All defensive coordinators keep something in their hip pocket for these types of situations. What can we do to slow down the onslaught? But the biggest thing is make sure these guys encourage each other, pick themselves up, because right now, it's been a really tough ball game trying to stop these offenses.
Yeah, it really has, especially as of late.
You get a tight end like this, and you know he's used to dishing out punishment, but here, he's going to have to absorb the contact, and as a result, unable to hold on to the football.
He'll let it fly in the direction again, and the hit jarred it loose. It's incomplete.
This defense was definitely alert to the possibility of the deep ball, and they were more than ready for it.
They've got the lead, fourth quarter. Maybe can expect more passes like that downfield. Now Breeze on 3rd down. Buying time to his left. Oh, he's got a little, and I think the ball's out. And it's picked up by the Eagles.
Brandon, I don't want to violate any of our broadcasting rules by declaring a game over before it's over. But that one, that puts them in real jeopardy there.
Absolutely. It was a 2-possession game. It is a 2-possession game at this stage in the fourth. They needed points out of that break.
And obviously now, no chance at all to get those points that they so desperately needed.
Sheldon Rankins breaking through to get him for a loss of 7. And they weren't in zone coverage. They were in man, and each man did his job.
And that looked like vintage, old-school coverage, didn't it? Man coverage reminded me of an old Raiders team. They had a Hall of Famer at one corner and a Defensive Player of the Year at the other, and they just locked people down.
The fourth quarter here, they've got the lead. They want to keep it on the ground. That's what they're doing.
Smart football. Keep the clock grinding, keep it going. But you got to figure now, they're going to see more people stacked up in the line.
Under pressure here, and down he goes. Sacked back at about the 43-yard line.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
Here is the punter Jones as he gets this one away. And a little too much mustard on that one. It hits a couple yards into the end zone. A missed opportunity there maybe to pin him back. On first down, Breeze. And his throw is incomplete.
The effort's always going to be there. Everyone's always going to try and make a catch, but underthrown balls, I think, are the toughest ones to come back and get because usually your momentum's going in the opposite direction when you're trying to stop, break, and come back and get it.
On target over the middle to Hill. That one goes for 24 yards. Looking to speed things up here, going with some tempo. Breeze now on first down. It's brought in here by Willie Snead. And he's going to get this all the way down inside the 35. A good pickup there, a 22. On first and 10, here's Breeze. That's out to Hill, right side complete. 15 more there, and they're on a roll. It's another first down. Inside the red zone here, they'll look to throw. Caught right side, it's Snead. A good pickup there, 8 yards on the first down completion. Breeze to throw again. Forced out to his left. 5 yards on the scramble, and that's enough to pick up the first.
All right, partner, I'm a defender, but I've got to express my admiration there. Moving around, making it happen, and instead of worrying about protecting himself, he goes and gets the first down. I've got to give it to him on that one.
Normally, you don't want your guy taking shots, your quarterback, but... And he's got him. It's caught in the end zone. Touchdown, New Orleans. Brandon Coleman, a 1-yard touchdown reception. And the Saints have cut it back within a score. Oh, this is blocked. Now it's scooped up, and this is a live football. But he doesn't get far. They're able to stop him. And after all that, the extra point attempt unsuccessful.
Well, times have definitely changed on the PAT, on the extra point, haven't they? A lot more effort goes into this play from both sides.
Yeah, because let's face it, a lot of time on extra points, the effort is not what it is when you're trying to block a field goal.
No doubt about it. Before, when the ball was snapped on the 2-yard line, it was really a virtual chip shot. Now everyone believes they can get to it and knock it away, and we know how crucial every point is. So the defensive guys, they spend a lot more time trying to get that done, which means there's more pressure on the offensive guys trying to kick it.
And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line.
Well, you had to punt on your first drive, and on the first play of the second drive, you end up going backwards. I would dare say they need something good to happen right here, right now.
Now it's Ajayi. Takes this to the 27. Give him 4 yards. Well, with the fumble he had earlier, we know how key keeping the football is here. That fumble earlier probably at the forefront of his mind. Just hold on to this thing.
It's also at the forefront of the mind of the guys who are trying to get the ball from him. And since they've seen him drop it on the ground before, they're doing everything possible to have him do it again. They need that turnover.
And he finds his tight end. It's Ertz. And he's able to get out to the 32, brought down there. Just a 5-yard pickup, and it leads to 4th down. I hate to surrender the football when you're nursing a slim lead, but they're going to have to punt it away. Trust that defense.
It's the right play at this stage of the game as well. You don't need to press it here because you do have that little bit of a cushion, and you count on your D to make it stand up.
And that'll hit at the 5 and go into the end zone for a touchback. And now the Saints get set to trot out there. Time starting to run out here in the fourth. This defense just trying to keep the offense off the board and preserve this potential victory. Over the middle, it's Thomas. And this one will go to the 28-yard line. A good pickup there. 8 yards on the first down completion. Time for a break. We're back to see what happens after this. So it's Saints football as we get you reset. They come up on a second down now in a game that looks like it's going to go down to the wire. Looks like the defense in press coverage here. And a 20th carry now for Ingram. And they'll take him down at the 31-yard line. A gain of 4 that time as the drive continues. First down now, but the clock continues to move. Ingram again. And he'll get this up to about the 40. Give him 9 on the carry that time, and they're set up with a 2nd and 1. Breeze, one of the best ever in these situations as he's trying to get his guys set. They run. It's Mark Ingram. And not much room to operate as he'll get this up only to about the 41. He can muster only a yard there, and they'll be left with a 3rd and very short. They'll try to run for the first with Ingram. And he's got a first down as he's up to the 48. 7 yards there, good enough to move the sticks.
They picked up a little bit of yardage there, and now, in this situation, should be in no hurry to run a play really fast. Let the clock wind down.
Back to throw, and he can't get a throw away. He's taken down. And before this second down play, we'll get a whistle, a signal, and a timeout, as it comes with 1:04 left to go in the game. He's back to throw. Over the middle, the catch by Coleman. And he's taken down, but not before he gets this into enemy territory across the 40. And a nice gain at 21 yards. This is Ingram on 1st and 10. And he's going to get this inside the 30. Now we'll get a quick timeout called by New Orleans, number 2, as they'll stop it with just over 40 seconds to go in the game. They'll look to throw. It's a short one here, complete to his tight end. And they'll be inside the 25 now at the 24. Give him a couple on the catch. It's 2nd and 8.
Sometimes it's hard to figure, but you can live with incompletions in this situation. You can't live with these short gains that take time off the clock.
You know who loves it? This defense. Give him 10 yards on that one, and that'll earn him a fresh set of downs. That's what they need right now. Get the first down, get out of bounds, stop the clock.
Just playing smart football, understanding the situation, making the plays necessary, and making sure that clock stops at every opportunity.
And now they're inside the 10 as he's brought down at the 9. They'll get 5 out of the scramble. It's 2nd down. Breeze, one of the best ever in these situations as he's trying to get his guys set. Back to throw. That's caught. It's Thomas. And with 4 seconds remaining, they will call the timeout. So just enough of a cushion there to bring on the field goal unit and try to send this one to the extra session. One final try here for Breeze. And this is caught. And that could seal it. It's a touchdown.
So for those of little faith, guess what? It got done. They now have the lead with that touchdown this late in the contest. I wonder if that was a play they were holding or a play that they just knew would work from past experience.
Well, I just saw it in their eyes on the sideline before starting that last drive, and they did. You're right. They got it done. Looks like they're going to be the winners. Short kick. One of the up middle take it now. And solid field position here to start as they get it out to the 40-yard line. So some drama down to the very end of this ball game, Charles, on that final kickoff. They were open to break free, some sort of miracle play, but they couldn't do it.
They had a chance, and that was their only opportunity to try and bring it all the way back. As you noted, they weren't able to get that done, but at least they had the shot. What a tremendous game to be this close and this well contested.
So that's a wrap. For Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. And this has been a presentation of the NFL on EA Sports.